Can you be arrested from running from the police, even if you did nothing wrong? Well, here's the scenario we're going to talk about today. You see the police approaching, you panic, you run, you pull off, you drive away. Maybe you didn't even commit a crime. Yes, it happens more than you think. In Louisiana, you can actually be charged with resisting an officer if you run, hide, pull away, refuse to stop, or give false information during an investigation. The officer doesn't even need to prove that the underlying reason they stopped you for was a crime that you actually committed. You can actually be exonerated of that completely and still be charged with resisting if you run, hide, or do all the things we talked about. They don't even need to show that you did anything wrong underlying. Remember that. The main thing is you intentionally avoided arrest, questioning, or any sort of detention that is a lawful detention. So are there any defenses of that? Well, of course there are. What if you feared for your safety? What if the officer was off duty and never identified themselves? What if the command wasn't lawful, or the flight wasn't intentional, or there's no legal basis for the stop? Well, even if there's no legal basis for the stop or it wasn't intentional, if you know you're being investigated, there's a police officer behind you trying to pull you over or asking you questions, the best advice is to acquiesce to that stop and that detention. Don't say anything. Hand over your ID if you have one. And if they are allowed to do a Terry stop, which means they can search you briefly for weapons, that's when you say, I do not consent to a search, and then that you want your lawyer. So those are the best advice that I can give in those situations. But remember, if you resist, you can be charged even if there's no underlying crime to be charged with. If this happens to you or you're involved in some sort of crime, give us a call at the Bradley Law Firm. We'd be happy to look at your case.